And hello, all of my happy crumpers. I am back, and I have an awesome episode to you for everyone today. So we actually have a rock star guest with us today. On Discord, he goes by Invictus, but you can call him Johann. Others can call him the Handsome Devil. That is what he does. So he is one of the one of the top judges over at the WTC. And if you guys don't know, like a lot of people just don't know this, is France actually produces a ton of the top judges around the world. These guys are busy like making rulings, helping events around the world go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through some like France's road today because some people were asking questions about how did France dominate the World Team Championship because it was unexpected. Some people were thinking, oh, Poland's gonna crush or America's gonna crush, and those teams are both great and they actually both did fantastically. But France took the win this year. And so I thought we'd have our expert come on and kind of explain how France did it. So a lot of this, like we're going to talk about France's record, but that's not going to be the focus of today's video. Today's video, what we're going to be discussing is actually the organization of 40K in France itself, because I'm going to be willing to bet none of you have any clue how intense and in-depth it is in France, like how many registered players they have, how amazing the organization there is, and the trainings that they actually have going on in France. And I think a lot of you will take a ton away from this just listening to Johann's brilliance. So Johann, you want to go ahead and give us a little introduction to yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Johann, I'm 33 now. I play Warhammer since almost 25 years because I started very young with my cousins and my uncle that introduced me to the game. I play competitively in tournaments since 10 years or something like that. And I'm a referee since almost 4 years, more or less, something like that too. Yeah, 4 years. And with that, I'm on the board of the French Federation with some friends and some other people that runs the federation for all friends. And the famously, because a lot of people start to get interest in that system in France for team league, for selecting the captain, selecting the team, and what we will talk today.
Marvelous. So just real quick, I'm going to take like 2 minutes here, and I just want to go through France's path. Like, what did they actually do? Who did they play? How did they smash? So I've just got BCP pulled up here, guys. So as you can see, France, they definitely took first place at the WTC this year, and they smashed first place. They actually did an amazing job. Poland was a favorite. USA was a favorite. I know actually there was a lot of noise coming out of Germany this year. Sweden was really crushing it this year. As you can see, all three of those countries did really well. They took 3, 4, and 5. Poland, Sweden, USA. And then Spain kind of came out of nowhere and took second. And then France decided to just throw a freaking haymaker and knock them all down a peg. And France took first. So as you can see, they actually had an exceptionally high score. It's not even that they just won all of their rounds and only drew one. It's that they actually had a really high score. So let's check this out. So their very first match was going to be against Portugal, and they won 100 with 146 points. Johan, how many points are possible in a round?
It's 8 games, so to 20, so 160.
160. So that's a lot. That's a domination, I would say. And then France played Wales with 137, also a huge smash. Then France played Finland, also a huge smash, 115 points. Then we went into England, and they beat England with an 88, which is really, really big. They tied Sweden with an 82, which is still a winning draw. And then
Yeah.
they beat Australia with 106 points, and then they beat the USA with 84 points. This is big. This is a really, really big deal, and France just absolutely smashed everyone. So that was their path. So now the question that we all need to take, because everyone who's watching this wants to get better at 40K. That's just kind of the way it works. Not everyone here is playing teams, although if you're not playing teams, you need to, because teams is the way 40K was meant to be played. Although I also love singles. Don't get me wrong, singles are still great. So how did France do this? And please just go ahead and get into detail. Drive home like the crazy levels of organization and like the intensity that you guys actually go through the entire federation in France. Bring it. Speak to us as if we're all ignorant and don't know anything.
Yeah. So basically, France is really organized around competitive play since the creation of the federation 15 years ago, something like 2007, 2008. I don't remember exactly which year. But we have a federation that was initially built to elect the captain for the former ETC, so the ancestor of the WTC we have now. During the years, the federation grew, sorry, to organize more and more events, and just not just for the official circuit, official way to become team friends, to support clubs, to support gaming clubs, gaming association, and sort of anything like that. All the TOs from France to really help the overall community and not just the wannabe team friends. So we went to back in the day we had 20 team competing each other for becoming team friends, to the last season approximately 146 team, if I remember correctly.
So let me just get this right. So originally, when you guys were trying to figure out who's going to be the captain of Team France and who's going to like select all the other teammates, it was 20 teams vying for the honor of the winning role to go represent the nation. And last season, it was over 120. And these are 8-man teams?
146.
146, sorry. And these are 8-man teams?
Not exclusively.
Okay.
So the system, the modern system since after COVID, is designed on 3 tiers. So you have League 3, which is the regional league with a team of 6 players. So very local, very small teams to allow new teams, new players to get access to the system, to discover the team play, how team tournament works, and things like that. Really a door to access the system.
Okay.
We have then the tier 2, so the League 2, so League 2, with teams of 8 players in semi-national area. So basically, last season we sorted France in 4 quarters: northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. And for the upcoming season, we will have a 5th pod in League 2 because we have more and more teams. The subscription for the next season has ended this week, and we have something like 174 teams now. So it keeps growing.
And tier 1, how many?
6 teams, the 6 best team in France.
6 teams make up tier 1.
Yeah,
okay.
Which with 8 players, so it's very from bottom to the top of all the team in France, and the 6 best possible.
Okay, and you actually you're the captain of one of those teams, aren't you?
No, I'm one player from one team. So in English, we could name it rigged unicorns, les licornes truquées in French. And we play in League 2, so in northeast, quarter of France.
Right on.
And we have, after League 1, one special event around October. So after the end of the current season, the next one will be in a few months, for example, where the 4 best teams in League 1 fight each other to become captain, or to elect one captain.
Okay. And the winner,
so
the winner of those 4 teams, the winning team, their captain becomes the captain. Is that right?
Yeah. Before COVID, the winning team became Team France.
Okay.
Since COVID, we wanted with LOL, the first captain who won in 2022. We wanted to build something else, something more efficient. And to elect not only a team but a captain, and this captain then will be able to pick players from every team in France to try to build the best team possible.
Sick.
And since 2022 with LOL, and last year with Percastor, the system they built with this idea in mind was to have a council of captain from the captain of the 4 teams that participate, the Big 4.
Okay, so you make like a council this time.
Yes. Okay. With one captain that will have the last word if needed, but really to really use the expertise and the knowledge of the the 4 different captains to build the best team ever.
Nice. Nice. So if you wanted to say get on Team France at this point in time, you don't necessarily have to be on one of those 4 teams, but you do have
Not
to be known to those 4 captains, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically yes, because players from Team France this year come mainly from League One, but people from League Two that play a lot on international events, a lot of single events in France that really are good in their codex or several codexes and that perform really well could become a member of the Team France
Okay.
because the team. Um, how can I say that? During WTC, we have a team of 8 players, of course, and several coaches. But the reality of Team France as a whole is different because at the once Zeka, so the captain from this 2024 WTC, has been elected in past October, he started to work with his council to build Team France, and by selecting 30 players, so
Mm-hmm.
from League One, League Two, people that really are invested in competitive play, performs really well, participate in a lot of events in France and internationally.
Cool.
And from these 30 players, as the year progress, Zeka get down to 20, then to 8 in around June before the WTC. But every player that was not selected in the 20 and the 8 during the year is still part of Team France because he still participate in scrims, in boot camps, in trainings, in thinking on their dedicated Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real community and not just only 8 players
That's
with
awesome.
3 or 4 coaches.
That,
To have a sort of hive mind to talk meta, talk list, make reps of this matchup, this matchup, this matchup, and so it's so.
that's fantastic. So when you're talking about this many freaking players, right? Like you said about 146 teams. Not all of them are 8 mans, some are 5 mans. So there's well over 400 players though. Like this
Um,
doesn't sound like what is a league play look like? Are there regular games that these people have to play to go through the ringers to be able to go up the ranks? Like are is there a central mind that is scheduling matches between these individual teams? How does that work?
I will take the system is the same for all tiers. So League One, League Two, League Three. The system is the same. So basically, you have pods of maximum 6 teams. In League Two and League One, it's obviously 6 teams. In League Three, as is regional, it can depend between 4 and 6 teams. But all these teams should fight each other twice during the season. Once for the first event, match aller en France. So one event during a whole weekend where each team will play against each other teams. And one second event, so in French, le match retour, later in the year, 3, 4 months after,
Okay.
where each team will again fight each other's teams. And then after the end of the season, you have a ranking that from first event and second event that will say which team has won its pod, which team can get up to the next level from League 3 to League 2, for example. Which team, if it's a pod of League 2, has performed which team is the worst and will get back to League 3.
Mm-hmm.
We have a special event to get access to League 1 where the best teams from each pod of League 2 will fight each other with one of the team from League 1 that can try to defend its place in League 1 to be sure that we have new teams in League 1 each year, but we are assured that the level of Team 1 is the best possible.
So how
And
many games would the average tier 2 team play over the course of the season?
officially,
Officially,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
officially, because it's 6 teams in a pod of League 2, so it's 10 games
Oh, cool.
because you fight the 5 other teams twice.
Okay.
It's during official events. Between that, there is a lot of scrims, a lot of friendly games, a lot of local tournament
And then
single
for like
team.
tier 3, how many would be in that? How many matches would you
Yeah,
play?
for a pod of 6 teams, it's the same.
Oh, okay. So it's just because of your pod, right? Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm
yeah,
picking up. Cool. So that's actually
because
a
you have
lot of 40K to let people like train, and since you get repeats, it gets you a lot of practice with actually doing your pairing practice as well. So do you
yeah.
find like that's one of the big strengths that you guys get out of your style of 40K? You guys just start to understand pairings at a really high level.
But the team way of playing 40K is really 40K. Sorry, is really well. It's part of the French culture to play team.
Yeah.
So we are kind of used to pairings,
Sure.
and as the season goes, and you get from League 3 to League 2 to maybe League 1, you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of data. You discuss it with a lot of teams. You made a lot of scrims between the events to train yourself and be sure that you can beat the other teams during the official events. So it's a lot of reps indeed in pairings and games to gain experience.
That is a ton of high quality experience that you guys are getting throughout
Yeah,
the year. Now,
because
yeah,
if I remember correctly, between League 1, League 2, League 3, and the Big Four and the playoffs, we had almost 70 team events last season.
70?
70, yeah.
I
Well,
think, dude, I think we've got like 7 GTs in Norway, period.
but it's in League 3, one team event, it's only the 6 teams from this pod, for example.
Yeah.
But in all France, yeah, almost 70 team event during last season. Plus a lot, I don't have the number, but a lot of single events from 32 to 64 to 100 to 128 players. We have a lot of single tournaments too because since last year, the federation works a lot with Game Workshop
Yeah.
since the installment of the World Championship of Warhammer in Atlanta. And France is a big country in terms of golden tickets, number of golden tickets. And so we have a lot of events to give, to award these golden tickets. And this seasons for Atlanta 2024, sorry, we had 12 majors, 12 with a minimum 100 players. 10 or 12, I don't remember exactly, but a lot.
Yeah, and just for like people who are listening, who don't know, how many people are in France in general? Like, what's the population of France? Can't be.
Oh, let me Google it.
Yeah. I imagine it's smaller than several of of the states in the United States.
So we have 68 millions people in France.
Okay.
And we had in the federation last season approximately 1,500 players
So cool.
in the federation.
You guys had more players in your federation than what attend in the War Masters and the WTC combined.
Yes.
That is so freaking cool. I love it. That is rockstar. Now, does the federation have anything to do with the singles as well, or is the singles just like its own thing?
Yes and no,
Okay.
because the singles are organized by third parties, if I can say like that, TOs from all across France.
Yep.
It's not the federation that organizes the event, but the federation supports the events by helping writing the rule pack, sending referees, obviously, because if you want one golden ticket, you must have a referee that validates the event in a way. We have another kind of single events that give silver tickets. So the silver tickets doesn't grant a spot in Atlanta at face value, but it grants you a spot in one special event, the Super GT, at the end of the season, where all players that gain the silver ticket can play each other to get 1, 2, or 3 golden tickets. So it's the final event of the single season, if I can say like
Yeah.
that. And also the federation really help TOs build their event, either by writing the rule pack, sending referees, helping them building their budget, the money aspect of the event. How much should I get for food, for eventually goodies, for the venue? It's really we have some expertise in the federation. If you need it, we can help you.
So this sounds there's a ton of organization involved here, like way more than what basically every country in the world besides France has. There might be one or two out there that I don't know about, but this sounds expensive. So does in order to join the federation, is there a fee associated with that, or do you guys just have sponsorships, or is it all volunteer run? Like, how does this work?
It's a ton of work, indeed. For players, there is a subscription fee of €15 per year,
Okay.
per season. I don't know how much it will cost in Norway, but it's not really that much.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's really
Roughly
nothing.
$15 in the States, roughly 170 krona
Yeah,
here, but
yes,
roughly
something
that.
like that. And we use this money for the current expenses of the federation. So the one internet site that we will build soon, assurance, bank account. So really the working expenses of the federation. Then we are searching for now sponsors for the federation itself. We had several from Team France during WTC. We had several from the French delegation that went to Atlanta last year.
Okay.
So, but we are searching for sponsor for the federation itself. And for the events of the league, team league, each team pay a certain amount of money to the federation, and this money is used to pay the venue, pay the food, not pay the referees as payment, but pay their expenses from moving to the venue, sleeping at a hotel if it's needed. So all people that work for the federation, so the board, the referees, are not paid, but are volunteers, and their expenses, train, flight if needed, hotel and such, are covered by
That's awesome.
The participation of the player for the events.
Okay. Man, that is so freaking cool. I absolutely love that. That really helps you to build it. Now, I know, like for example, you are gonna be coming out to Oslo. And for anyone who's watching this, you want to fly out to Oslo. We have a massive GT. I'm gonna post a link to it down below. 72-person GT at 2D6, which is the largest independent club in the world from what we could tell. We've got 300 standing members. We've got 3 floors with permanent gaming tables and terrain up there. So if you guys want to come out to Oslo and join an awesome GT, then you should come out, and you'll get to hang out with Johann, who's going to be being TO there, and he's going to be helping train up some of our TOs to try to get us to like another level of being able to TOs. So like how often does this happen? Is this something that the Federation does regularly, where they'll go out to try to train like other countries up to try to
But to be fair, Norway was the first country to ask. Cool. We were quite surprised by this question, because what we do work in France. It works at the WTC because we had this year 6 French judges at the WTC, because our expertise is recognized, if I can say like that.
Yeah.
And so a few months ago, Patrick from the captain from Team Norway asked the federation if we can help themselves to build something in Norway, help them structure something for referring all the events you have in Norway.
Yep.
And Italy asked the same thing because Orfeo, one of the referee that was at the WTC last week, is also trying to structure the refereeing system
Okay.
in Italy. And we talked a little, but we will talk a lot more in the upcoming weeks with Canada and South Africa that also wants to learn how to have a proper referee at their events, to structure it, and to be sure that all events in their country plays the same with the same rules. For example, in France, everything from single to teams is played with a WTC rule pack,
Cool.
for example. And some countries like South Africa, Canada, Italy, and then Norway wants to build a structure, build something, so all players will have a good experience
Yeah.
and the same experience, and really level up the competitive scene of the country.
So actually, I absolutely adore that this is like starting to go into other countries as well, because I sat down with Joe at the WTC War Games Live.
Mhm.
Just awesome stream. If you guys don't know, he does the best stream in the world for like just live wargaming, and it's freaking rockstar. And anyway, one of the things that we were talking about is how do we actually professionalize 40K a little bit. And the reason why we want to professionalize 40K is because there is a crazy amount of interest in 40K. Like I don't think a lot of people realize, but like the universe of 40K is pretty dang close to being poised to be the most dominant like sci-fi franchise in the world. With the current decline of Star Wars and how it's just
Yeah.
dying, Star Trek is dying dramatically. 40K is one of the only franchises that is actually just exploding in popularity right now, and we actually have the possibility of growing 40K into being even a much bigger thing. And so one of the things that Joe is working on is he's trying to make 40K much more watchable. So his stream has been a good start, but he wants to start getting into more graphics, better commentary in order to actually improve the quality of just viewing 40K. But one of the ways that we have to do that is we have to have people playing on a more standardized rule set. And that's one of the things that you guys are actually just doing a great job of making sure that rules are more easily understood and making sure that rules are more easily consumed. So that's another level that we need to do in order to help like professionalize 40K a little bit. And I think it's freaking awesome what y'all are doing. And I'm actually really darn excited to get a little more of a taste of it.
It really helps everyone, and I don't know if it's real in Norway, but it was uh, at least until a few years ago really real in France. The new player that discover 40K, or the average player, casual player, if I can say like that, had really an image of a competitive player, a really bad image of competitive players,
Yeah.
because the rules are not really known by everyone. There will be gotchas, players only play to win, and things like that. And since the rise of streaming channel of 40K, YouTube channels, for example, in France, we have a French Wargame studio that was at WTC also
Right.
to stream the French games. Since the rise of a more public and easy access of the game, this kind of bad image, bad view start to decline too.
Yeah.
And we really saw the growth of the competitive community, because after COVID we had 74 teams in the national league. Uh, 2 years ago we have 116 or something like that. We had last year 146, as I said, and now 170 something. So it
That's
really
awesome.
grows in time, because people are less and less afraid of competitive play,
Mhm.
thanks maybe to the referees that
Yeah.
help everyone to have a good experience and to have a secure environment of play, if I can say like that.
Totally.
And because the DOB is less and less niche, is more known, is more viewed by people. And as you said, if we are sure that everybody plays the same with the same rule. It's really easy to go and meet new peoples and
Yeah.
play with them because you know that you will play the same game.
And that is just so key to the growth of the hobby. And I absolutely love the work you guys are doing with that. Johann, we are up at like 30 minutes right now. This was fantastic. Do you have anything else that you would like to share? Like any little tidbits of wisdom that people can take from some of the lessons that you guys have learned in trying to grow the sport or grow participation?
Firstly, I will just say that I'm really eager to come to Norway and to see Oslo, to see 2D6 and to meet your players.
Oh yeah.
And the first advice I could give for a community to really grow and level up their experience of play is to talk with each other. If you want to organize an event but you don't have enough terrains, for example, because it's always the first problem when you want to organize an event. But just talk with another gaming club, another gaming shop that could help you, that could lend you some terrain from the event. If you don't have any volunteers to run the event, just ask for players that don't really want to play at the moment, but would want to help. It's always easier to make something as a community than alone. It's a little cheesy to say it like that, but we really succeed to grow the French community because everybody worked with everybody.
It's cool.
Because I have some terrain, you have a ref, you don't have some volunteers to maintain the bar. I have one, and things like that.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, man. Well, I'm excited to see you out here. And if anyone who's watching this wants to come out to a GT, go ahead and sign up because spots are going pretty fast. But it is Norway, it is Oslo, it is a fairly cool place, and you're gonna be at the best damn club in the world for it. We'll see you in about 2 months from now, and can't wait for it, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you coming on.
yeah. Thanks to you for the invitation, despite my shitty French accent, and see you
Oh,
soon.
I've heard much shittier French accents. You, no, you're English rock, and I appreciate it. And everyone who's watching this appreciated it, and if they didn't, they're dicks. So who cares?
See you soon.
All right, my guy. Cheers.